What's up, gamers? We're the Skyblock Scrubs. We both got the new Microsoft cape, as you can see. Looks pretty baller, so you guys should get one too. It's my first ever cape, and I've had the game for like a decade, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, today we're going to be doing a video about Skyblock back then versus Skyblock now. So I'm sure, especially those of you who have played since the beginning, or at least for about a year or something, you know that Skyblock back then was a lot different than Skyblock now. It was a whole lot less toxic, and I guess for some people maybe more fun, some people maybe less fun. It just depends on your personal preference, but yeah, the point is it was a lot different, and we're just going to showcase some of those funny things that are a lot different.
Alright boys, so long ago in a land far, far away, back in probably 2019, people would summoning eye grind, and that was the strat. That's how you get your big bucks. Or people would bizarre flip. Like, I went back and Swavy's first or second ever video was about bizarre flipping. And people were so dumb back then that you could just buy order and sell order and make mad profit because everyone just bought instantly and no one knew anything about bizarre. I mean, people still do that, but not nearly as much. Now the best money-making methods are doing Void Gloom Seraphs and Slayers and Dungeons, and then eye grinding again, because dinguses have driven up the eye market so incredibly much that it's just insane. They're at almost 1 million per, so summoning eye grinding is back, baby.
Alright boys, so next up is grinding skills. So back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember this, but you used to go to guild splashes, and you would go there, they would all do parrot check, all the plus pluses would do their check emote. It was good times for shizzles, and yeah, you basically just got whatever you got. If you got a fishing XP boost 3, then you go fishing. If you got a foraging 3, you go foraging, you know. You just do whatever skill you got, you work with what you got, and nowadays, you just buy a god pot, you buy a booster cookie, and you're set for life. Back then, it was so hard. You'd go foraging and had to warp to each island. You would like accidentally warp to different foraging islands, and now it's all a lot easier. You just jump up on the slime blocks, and yeah, it's just a lot easier to grind skills. You just put down minions for whatever skills you don't want to do, and then you just do combat through dungeons and slayers and stuff.
Alright boys, so back in the day, there were two skills that were particularly obnoxious, and that was Enchanting and Alchemy. They were the two pay-to-win skills, because you would just have to pay a stupid amount of money to get those two to level 50. So there was Alchemy, which, I mean, it's still pay to win, but it's not as bad now. But back in the day, you had to create those massive alchemy machines. People would be like, this is the strat, boys. You only have to lose like 25 mil doing alchemy if you create this massive monster of a machine and AFK for 500 hours straight. And enchanting back then, you would just buy like 60 to 100 mil in Grand XP bottles and just sit there for hours on end clicking. Now enchanting goes up to 60, and you can do it in like 5 days because you get like 4 million XP every freaking time you use it, and the freaking experimentation table is cracked. And for alchemy, you can just use melons or any website that tells you what's the best, and just do it during derpy, and then it'll cost you like 10 mil.
Alright boys, next up is the endgame gear. So back in the day, I'm sure a lot of people's goals were this, but at least the co-op we were in with the boys, we were all shooting for Aspect of the Ends and Emerald armor. We were super excited. We had straight Emerald and Enderman minions, and we would just like absolutely farm those. I remember we used to always go up with Fortune 3 pickaxes and mine out the Emerald ore blocks that the minions produced, and we would have like minion expanders, so we got more of those, so we would get more emeralds, and we would always like fight over them and be like, bro, why do you keep breaking the emeralds? Those are mine, man. And yeah, it was just struggling. So that was the gear back then, and now it's just like Necron and Hyperion and Terminator, and you just absolutely just blow Aspect of the End and Emerald armor out of the water. You can't even do floor 2 with that.
Alright boys, so back in the day, right as the Slayer update came out, people were like, now I can get Combat 50 with ease, it'll only cost me billions of coins, and it'll take a crap ton of my time. Because people would just do T4 revs if they could. They had max gear and they could barely do T4 revs, and they were popping. They were determined to get Combat 50. Now Combat 50 is a joke. I just hit it last week and I'm not even grinding for it. But now you can just do Void Glooms, which to even spawn the boss, it costs like 25k combat XP. And Void Glooms are just insane for it. T5 revs are even better than T4 revs, more cost efficient. You get a lot doing that. And then maybe the best out of all is just using a wolf pet and having either a hype or a terminator on like a floor 6 Fragron. You just rush blood, kill the golems for like 70k, you kill the terracottas for an extra 50k, and then you kill the giants for an extra 25k. It's just insanely easy to get combat XP now.
Alright boys, next up is the auction house. Back in the day, you had to bid on stuff, and you would wait like 3 hours, and you were just constantly like, not really AFK, like half AFK, maybe doing your homework or watching a TV show or something. Every once in a while, like every 5 minutes, checking on the age, seeing if anyone outbid you. You see like a thing in chat, it's like New Master 69 has outbid you for this Flower of Truth by this much, and you're like, God dang it, man, that was mine. And now it's just been, you're like, nah, I'm paying like 5 mil extra. I don't even care, bro. I'm so filthy rich. It's so easy to get money these days, and you just buy everything instantly, and yeah.
Alright boys, the next one, this might be the biggest change yet, is foraging. So back in the day, you would get your tree cap and your young armor and your freaking god splash, and you would be like, I'm gonna get foraging 50. Then you go out and forage and you hit foraging like 13, you're like, man, this sucks. I'm not gonna hit foraging 50. I'll just wait for an update to come out. Nowadays, it finally happened. Nothing. You go and you get your tree cap and your young armor, and instead of a god splash, you get a god pop, and then you go out and you get foraging 15. You're like, been over a year. Wait, what? What's that? No, it's been 2 years. Okay, I'll just wait for the next update and foraging to come out. Hypixel just is determined to not give foraging anything, so foraging has not had an update in like 3 centuries, and it sucks.
And I'm just gonna point out the obvious. Back then you had a completely different village than this, so that's a slight change. And there wasn't slime all over the Coliseum. You could actually fight people in there. So fun.
Alright boys, so next is maxing gear. Back in the day, you would buy your freaking ender chestplate and you were a non, because you were always a non, you're a scrub. And you would put growth in prop 5 and be like, whew, that was expensive, bro. That thing is entirely maxed. Now there's hot potato books, fuming potato books. You can star stuff if it's a dungeon item. Then you can master star for an extra 100 mil and like 0% gain and bonus, and oh, it's trash. And you can put OP reforges on it like Ancient, it's cracked. And it destroys every other reforge in the game, and they're all rendered useless. There's ultimate enchants like Legion 5, which makes you OP. You just get a bunch of boys to gank around you, and then you double all your stats, and it's insane. There's Counter-Strike 5, which costs 200 mil for 10 defense. Then there's the classic growth in Prot 7, which in total costs 100 mil, and it's like 4 health and 3 defense. There's Rejuvenate 5, and there's True Protection. And then there's the Enchant Rune 3, 60 mil, so that your visuals get destroyed by all the stupid enchant particles. So yeah, and there's also gemstones, perfect gemstones, which are bugged right now, because but that is maybe the worst out of all. It's like 60 mil for like 4 strength. That is a gamer plays right there. So maxing something now costs like an extra 500 mil, but in reality it's like a 20% boost for 500 mil, so got him.
Not to mention Technoblade's book and Recombobulators as well. Like, there are a lot of things. Back in the day, Hypixel had a good dev team. They made updates. I remember, like, when we got back into it around, I don't know, September or October 2020, it seemed like there was an update every 2 weeks. That was pretty solid. These days, there are only updates for, like, balance changes or fixes to updates that they never even, like, test. They'll just pump out an update, and it's as if they've, like, never even tried it. It's as if they just, like, game developers and, like, beta testers just don't exist. Like, they claim they test their crap on the alpha server, but, like, that's gotta be so fake, because the amount of times they've produced an update, and within the first day there's, like, a game-changing bug, or just some glaring issue that you would think, maybe if they just sat down and played their game for, like, 4 hours, they would probably notice this. But, yeah, nowadays, ain't nobody got time for that. They make you spend gems, and they're like, yeah, bro, ever since we added the gems update, we'll get more money so we can buy more developers and make faster updates. And ever since then, the updates have gotten slower and worse, so not exactly sure. Seems like a EA Games moment to me, but that might just be me. Anyways, The point is they don't test their updates. It's pretty obvious. They add crap and they just, like, if you're in any Discord server with one of those bots that says like Hypixel's updates, like every week there's an update saying like, yeah, we fixed this bug that's like super obvious, and like, oh yeah, sorry that we wiped like thousands of people's inventories with this bug that could have easily been fixed if we just tried playing for like 10 hours. My bad.
Alright boys, so back in the day when you first joined, you would go to a Timedio tutorial on YouTube and you would see, oh my gosh, 90 fairy souls, that's like a 2% stat buff. And then, they released like 5 billion new islands and updates and stuff, and now we have like 227 fairy souls. And since a lot of the stuff with fairy souls stacks, it's kind of insane. So you get actually like you can get 1,000 base health with really trash statistics. So yeah, fairy souls are insane. And Timedio, he is a thing of the past, because even though he puts out tutorials every once in a while, you can now just download a waypoints mod and it'll tell you exactly where all of them are. And it's kind of cracked because you can just look and be like, oh, I see everything.
And the last thing that has changed back then to now, and yes, I just said the last thing, we have covered absolutely everything in Skyblock's history that has changed even a bit from 2019 to 2021. And if you think otherwise, you're just wrong. My opinion is fact. So, the salesman, he says, thank you for supporting the server, allowing us to maintain Skyblock with no pay-to-win advantages. Remember when this was true?
Back in my day, we didn't have pay-to-win. Alright boys, thanks for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed this throwback back to 82 when you could throw a pigskin quarter mile. So yeah, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It would help greatly. And see ya.